Innovate, accelerate, move technology forward. The startup revolution is now.
First, I would like to extend my appreciation to QBO or Cubo, which organized the Philippine Startup Week 2022 and accepted Learn Global Institute as a community partner. For almost a decade now, Learn Global Institute has been in the education business. But Learn now has global partners from the US, UK, Middle East, and Asia to bring world-leading content and technology-based learning platforms to students and professionals in the Philippines. Please allow me to introduce Learn Global partners and the panelists as follows. Uh, Miss Marlette Beirut is a school principal, a social development professional, founder, and EduTech entrepreneur in the Philippines. Dr. Govind Desai, I hope I said the name right, is a founder and director of Imperial English UK and Birmingham College, UK. Professor Mike Hutchison is founder, lightkeeper of the Lighthouse Ideas Company, and an adjunct professor of Auckland University of Technology, New Zealand. Mr. Santosh Krishan is VP for Business Development of Exceed College in UAE. And unfortunately, Dr. Barula Safi, Vice President International of Acacia University, unfortunately won't be able to join us. Okay. And yours truly, Ramon Fernando, I manage Learn Hong Kong Limited, and I'm the CTO as well, Chief Technology Officer of AskTech International Philippines, which carries the franchises of the different partner universities or institutions. Okay, sometime mid 2000, when I used to work for the Philippine Long Distance Telephone Company, one of the subsidiaries, Mabuhay Satellite Corporation, the Department of Education, the Philippine Department of Education, and Mabuhay Satellite conceptualized the Cyber Ed project, okay, with the aim of delivering content simultaneously to 10,000 schools, public schools, right, from a central Department of Education studio, no different from how you watch TV programs uh, which are received anywhere in the Philippines, right? Unfortunately, the project was shelved for reasons I can only discuss with you in private. Okay. Anyway, the recent COVID-19 pandemic acted as a catalyst to deliver learning content from various sources via the internet. Okay. The rapid improvement of the internet in terms of speed and coverage further accelerated the popularity of online learning. With global partners, with learning institutes such as Acacia University, Exceed, and IEUK, Learn is now in a position to deliver quality edutech or education and technology in the Philippines through a unique business partnership model. Okay. At this point in time, let me introduce to you the panelists, starting with Dr. Govind Desai. Please say a few words about yourself and how you plan to meet the objectives of this discussion. Dr. Govind, you may have the floor, please.
Yeah, thank you, Raman. My name is Govind Desai, and I'm the director of Imperial English UK and Birmingham College. Basically, we provide digital solutions for learning English language skills required for education, employment, global lifestyle, or communication. We upskilling teachers with 21st century skills digitally, and we managing English language provision paperless. I've been in this field for last 30 years, but I haven't seen the huge changes since the COVID-19 situation. Who would have thought about nearly 70% of the workforce and nearly all the world 1.5 billion learners would go online in a matter of weeks. We thought that this is a time for digitalizing the education to give access to all learners worldwide. And we can see the advances in EdTech progressing over last 20 years. And basically, it's like a e-learning and open educational resources. That followed by the new technology, again, learning management systems, video uses, and massive open online resources. In more recent year, you can see that learning analytics, artificial intelligence, blockchains, advances have made their way in education. I think today is a really very good discussions, and I'm happy to share my experience. I must congratulate the PHSW 22 for organizing this event with Learn Global Institute and ASK TAC International. I'm sure this event would create a positive impact on attitudes towards involvement of EduTech in skilling school graduates, current workforce for betterment of society, economy, and the world. At the same time, provide insight to school educators, business leaders, and policymakers to find a solution that brings quality content, cutting edge technology, international recognitions, and courses in working with world edutech companies for benefits of all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Govin. Marlette, you may take the floor, please.
For the introduction alone or for the three
Uh,
minutes?
yeah, the 3 minutes, yes.
Okay. I am
Uh,
Marlette Beirut. Do you see the video? Are you still
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
me?
go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead, yeah. Yeah.
So, I am Marlette Beirut, the founder of Wow Academy, the Women of Wisdom Academy, and at the same time, I'm the principal of Pertido Mission Academy. The challenges in the educational landscape in the 21st century have dramatically changed, whereby affecting the Philippine educational system concerning its quest of attaining the Philippine Sustainable Development Goals on quality education by 2030. The Philippines is experiencing education crisis, which is further aggravated by the pandemic. Given this information, how are we going to address the gap? That's the question. Will the presence of key players in the international arena uplift our situation? How does an ordinary teacher increase his or her capacity to earn? In what other ways an educator can earn? Let me share my professional testimony on my partnership with Imperial English UK or IEUK. As the founder of Women of Wisdom Academy or WOW Academy, a virtual school online for professionals, an opportunity to forge a partnership arose when Learn Global Institute, after several meetings, offered me as an academic partner and as the sole authorized representative in the country. Undeniably, English remains to be a global language because it is spoken and understood by the majority of the population in almost every region of the world. As the school principal of Pertido Mission Academy, a private Christian learning institution in the southern part of the Philippine countryside, partnership was also forged. The PMA is now a recognized IEUK Academy partner and an approved Imperial English UK Academy, the first private school in the Philippines to be recognized as one. IEUK is a learning management system, an online platform delivered 100% virtually. If IEUK model of partnership is beneficial to the students of PMA, how then can we help the teachers become teacherpreneurs? The WOW Academy, together with the Learn Global Institute, having seen the potential of Filipino teachers to become entrepreneurs, has conceptualized a WOW Teacherpreneur Academy. In this way, teacherpreneurs will be challenged to put up their own virtual school in collaboration with potential partners worldwide. The glaring reality of life shows that teachers as professionals are overworked, considered lowly in terms of remuneration and benefits. However, If given a promising platform to maximize their full potentials as educators, they can rise from the ground and are competitively adept and at par with other teaching professionals worldwide. Wait with excitement and watch with anticipation of the WOW Teacherpreneur Academy as we open its door as a virtual school for aspiring youngs and young ones educators who are willing to learn, eager to earn, and dreaming to break free from the cycle of poverty. This is an educational breakthrough. My experience with the IEUK partnership proves the doability of working together that will benefit many. With a WOW Teacherpreneur Academy, I firmly believe that Filipino educators, given all the support in educational technologies, will prosper in the near future. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Marlette, for giving a very good backgrounder on the Philippine situation of the education, and I hope all our panelists would be able to answer your challenges. Uh, yes, can we move on to Professor Mike? Your turn.
Well, thank you, Ramon. And a bit like you, my background has actually been in business. I have been in advertising agencies most of my life, and I'm particularly focused on teaching creativity. And a little like the World Economic Forum statement that the most important skills of the next decade are going to be complex problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. I've been focused particularly on that. As the managing director of Saatchi and Saatchi, it always puzzled me why it was so hard for creative people to convince non-creative people that they had great ideas. And so I was very close to Auckland University of Technology and went to the vice chancellor asking if I could write a thesis on connecting creative thinking with teaching. And because my background's been in advertising, I've spent my life making television commercials and doing stuff on video, particularly. So I was very keen to see e-learning be part of that process. And I actually produced my Master of Philosophy thesis as a television documentary. And on the basis that it's easier to watch a documentary than it is to read 300 pages of Times Roman. And they asked me to turn that into an e-learning program. So I have done that. And so built over the last 2 or 3 years, built 12 module online learning program, largely on video, and it can be either taught or self-directed. And now we've had quite interest from universities and teaching institutions around the world. In fact, we've actually taken it out specifically from the university itself, although still teaching it in the university, and white labeled the program for other private learning institutions, because I believe that e-learning is really focused on as a focus on where the world's going in the future. And it can be therefore taught by anybody because it's almost completely modular. It's a plug and play, which were built over the last couple of years. In fact, last week we just finished our first cohort of students outside the university, which has gone very, very successfully. I'm very keen to see how e-learning is going to develop around the world. And myself, having been in advertising most of my life, I'm only an accidental academic. I want to focus now on seeing how far we can take the program to other parts of the world. And we're currently talking with a number of international organizations, a large accounting firm, and a number of educational institutions to see if we can't use the program we've got and take it to other parts of the world. So I'm fascinated with where this is going to go. And thank you, and good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you, Professor Mike. Santosh, please.
Hi. Yeah. Good day and good afternoon to all. I'm joining you from Dubai. Myself, I'm Santosh Krishnan, Vice President for Exceed ECX. To say about my organization and what I do and what I just contribute to EdTech industry, it is like my organization Exceed ECX has been recently launched as a division of Westport Education Group. And within a matter of span, we are now spread in 20 countries with a very wide range of organizations like Learn and so many other organizations are connected with us. So focusing on EdTech, I'm just focusing today's speech on concentrating on artificial intelligence and data science. There is a big lag of what to say, the education impartment of it transmitting the education throughout the world in this particular segment. You know that AI data science is the future of this world, and the great thing is that the industry is growing in a very big pace, and that much number of people are not there to work in that industry. Especially if you take in the situation of Philippines. In Philippines, BPO industry is very high, and almost 1.3 million people are working on BPO industry, that is business process outsourcing. And sorry to say that, like, no, they are in very initial stage of AI and data science, only because the lack of very few organizations are giving these programs there in Philippines. Now, with the technology, with edtech technology and LMS and everything, now it is accessible to everyone throughout the world. First thing I want to highlight is that, like, no, we are focusing blended learning, where the biggest problem in this edtech industry, what now it is facing, is that there is no teachers available enough. Anybody who are specialist in AI and data science, they move into a big companies and big salaries and settle down there. They are not coming for us to become a teacher. Correct. So most of the universities or colleges are not able to have a full-time teachers to impart this program. Here we our exceed ECX comes into role. We have more than thousands of teachers worldwide joining in this platform and providing worldwide AI data science programs, especially bachelor degrees and master's degrees, which is impossible for at this moment in this world to be given in huge level in universities or colleges. There we are entering. That is why within a short period of time we are available in 20 countries. Through University of Acacia and UCAM, we deliver our programs on bachelor's and master degree, and as well as short-term programs and PG diploma. And students, when they do this program, immediately they get a job. You can Google and see how many vacancies are there for data analyst, data scientist, machine learning experts, business analyst, etc., etc. So many companies, the qualification they are putting is just a computer science graduate, because they are not getting a person who has done this program. So we are focusing on that one. In Philippines also, we are looking forward to expand in a big way that nook and corner, that where students can adapt this course and they learn this and increase their lifestyle into a better level and a better pay scale and everything. One more thing, as I said about BPO, 1.3 million people are working on this company, BPO industry. They don't have any option to go to college or an organization to study as a full-time student. Definitely e-learning is there where it comes into. We are providing this support to this whole world. Definitely it will be taken in a good way for Philippines also in coming days. So from XCDCX, I do welcome all the panelists and as well as members of this organization. Thank you for giving this opportunity to have a very good discussion today. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Santosh. Let's start off with the question, actually, developed by Valerie, our leader here in Learn. Okay. And please prepare your answers to these three initial questions. Okay. To all the panelists here. Uh, Number one, critics talk about learning crisis and declining workforce competitiveness in the Philippines. What is your idea? Okay, what is your solution? Uh, who wants to start? Marlette, maybe you can give a better backgrounder on this learning crisis before our other panelists from overseas get to answer them.
Oh yeah. Actually, if you are going to look at the Philippine educational scenario, even the Philippine studies for there's an agency that is doing on a research stated that there is indeed an educational crisis that is happening in the Philippines. It is not because of the low number of attendees or enrollees, but it is because of the poor educational the poor quality of education, and it was worsened by or aggravated by the pandemic. So indeed there is. And given all this, one of the scenarios is that almost 400 plus of the private schools in the Philippines, elementary and high school, did close, did shut down during the pandemic time. So that is one major problem in the Philippines when it comes to our educational practice, looking at the in the lens of the private schools.
Okay, so you're talking about funding, Marlet. Huh? So these private schools closed because they basically became how would you say in suspended animation, as you might call it. Dr. Govind, what's your take on this learning crisis in the Philippines?
I think what Marlit highlight, it's a really true scenario in Philippines. And particularly, there are the long terms and short terms views, particularly, if you look at the case studies of Philippines closing down the schools. Now, you can see the Philippines standing at the bottom of the table in Asia for the learning poverty in a grave situation. And if you look at the whole, it's not only education sector suffering, but you can see because of the COVID and not long-term visions, you can see the Philippines are some sort of GDP decreased by 9%. You can see foreign direct investment reduced by 24%. You can see national debt is increased by 26%. You can see the businesses, 88% businesses, their sales drop, and undevelopment was like a 14% rate. So it's not only like a Philippine situation, but you can see all developing countries suffering because of the COVID and not having the right policy in the right time. So you can say like a lack of investment in EduTech, particularly poor government policy towards inviting World EduTech company to work in Philippines in partnership with education sector. Particularly, there is no any major initiatives we can see that attract the foreign investors to come and invest the money in educational technology. You can see the gap between poor and rich in accessing quality education, limited internet connectivities. So there are problems. And if you can see at the world stage, almost the problem are the same. What I would like to suggest, like a very simple solutions. You cannot expect too much from the government, but private education providers should have initiatives. Business peoples and industry should have a good initiatives in terms of digitalizing the resources for the whole country, in terms of training the teachers to deliver using the technology, and third, giving the industry support to upskill their workforce in digital literacy. And I
Yeah.
think if it's not that hard, but if there is a way, I think Filipino, they are very hardworking people. And if this opportunity provided, they can do it. Particularly, let's say about the schools, if each school have an entrepreneur in terms from the private industry, then the whole public sector can be improved because the private industries, they have an insight to stabilize the business, to increase the technology in learning, and particularly not looking the government aid all the time, but making the schools education more accessible and sustainable.
Well said, Dr. Govind. I'd like to do a follow-up remark on this. For the past several years, the Philippine government has adopted a PPP program. It's called the Public-Private Partnership, and it has been very, very successful in terms of infrastructure development. I mean, highways, airports, and all that. Because it's been proven time and again. I mean, telecoms, infrastructure development, and all that. the government has not been very successful in this because of the very short term the government officials have or stay in their position, like 6 years at the most for the president, and then the next guy comes in, and there's just not enough continuity. But with the private partnership, this is probably one industry where the private sector can really move the education, can really improve the education position, and solve this education crisis in the Philippines. Santosh, what's your
Hi.
take on this, please?
Yeah, it was very good discussion going on. I just got a lot of very good informations about Philippine markets. I have just done some small like no notes also on this particular topic what we are discussed. See, we are discussing about education crisis where actually one thing is missing here. See, uh, biggest problem the world facing is not only the education crisis, also the resources to teach. Like no, the people are there in the huge public are there and everything. Even if you have something, you don't have enough quality educators or teachers to deliver this one. Okay, the biggest solution for this one is that a blended learning system where international faculties are going to be part of this transmission of this knowledge from different part of the world to Philippines. Correct. So I am just focusing on thing which I would like to focus here is that I have a magic wand with me. Okay, if we turn this magic wand, definitely there will be a big change in Philippines industry, especially in IT. See, the countries like India, Philippines, or Pakistan, or any other countries where there is a huge population who are computer literate. Okay, these people know very well. That is why these all countries like US, UK, and all are coming and investing on these countries on software development as well as BPOs and everything. You would agree that like no 70 percentage of the BPO sector in the Philippines, almost 1.3 million people are working, and who are working directly with these companies, and 1.5 million people are indirectly, that is virtually working in this one. And BPO industry in Philippines is growing to by 8 to 10 percentage even in this pandemic period. Okay, and also the Philippines holds 10 to 15 percentage of BPO industry of the whole world. It is not a small amount. Okay, now a big crisis going to hit Philippines, to be frank. What is that means? This industry is now turning toward industrial revolution 4. Industrial revolution 4, you know that it is artificial intelligence and data science. Earlier, all this job of software development manually people used to do by scripting and everything. Now it is all computerized, and computers and artificial intelligence are doing software job, and more of algorithms and data and artificial intelligence algorithms has to be produced. For that, there are very less organization in Philippines who are delivering this kind of support. We can learn so many programs. We can learn sociology, history, English, science, maths, physics, everything. You have a lot of options. But if you want to go for learning for AI data science, and that too a degree, master degree or a bachelor degree or a diploma, very, very few organizations are supporting this. And why? Because you don't have teachers. A guy who has learned AI data science, he will join as a big manager in big company in a big scale salary. Why should he come as a teacher? Correct. So this edtech, that is online, is the one and only place where we can bring worldwide resources and teachers to this platform on there as a freelancers or a full timers. They come and transmit their knowledge to this market. And I am sure that Philippines market, there is a huge population will embrace it, because the thing is that anybody does a course for their job and earnings. Imagine somebody is doing that a course immediately. When they get the certificate, next day they have a job, a decent job with a very good pay scale. That is what the basic necessity for an country to grow for. GDP and all the stuffs will grow in that. So here what we are into focus, that we are expert in AI and data science, and we are collaborated with universities, that is from Spain and America, is now going to enter the Philippines market, collaborating with institutions like Learn and any other institution, and setting up them a center where blended learning will happen. We will train the teachers there to deliver the classes, and we will bring the world class resources throughout the world come and teach directly. They will be flying in for some time, or they will be delivering it through live interactive classes, and make sure this industry is going to use our service in a best way, and explore the growth in BPO segment as well as in all IT industry. You take any industry, if it is banking industry, if it is marketing, if it is an education, health, logistic, every industry need this service, because in this proved like 2025, 270 percentage growth was shown in AI industry business growth. And it is predicted that in 2030 AI data science industry is going to be $15 trillion industry than any other industry in the world. It's not a small number, $15 trillion. So
Okay.
where
Good.
is the people to learn this? That is a, so we will be very happy in a way that like Philippines like country embraces this blended learning and online supports and everything what most of the companies can give, and take it up.
Good. Thank you, Santosh. Professor Mike, you have the floor. Is, hello, Professor Mike. Are you online?
Oh, sorry, Ramon. The audio quality at this
That's all right.
end, but I think it's
Oh, okay.
um, yeah, but I think that the future to me has to be significantly online, not all online. But it's interesting, the program that I've written. So it's largely video, and it's modular. It could be a 12-week program, but we've also done a video version, an AV version of it to basically to an augmented reality. And I was playing with it. It's a bit clunky at the moment, but I was playing with it at my home office. And my grandson, age 10, came in and saw what I was doing, and he flew through it. I mean, it's an advanced program. It's a 12 module level 5 program, 15 credits towards a degree. But he didn't know what the words were. He didn't know, because it's a business program. I'd asked some VR students to actually gamify the program, and the children in my family now just fly through it because they love doing it, because it's a new way of learning. And I think that when we have this crisis of education, and I'm sure it's worldwide, because people now are now so used to playing Minecraft or Fortnite or whatever it is, they're so familiar with these things. There are other ways of actually delivering the content, and that to me is my focus. How can we better deliver the content to help people do things quickly and more efficiently? And I guess because my background's been in advertising, I'm used to video, and I find that it's just growing day by day now, certainly in New Zealand. And I think that the problems seem to be worldwide. I can't really speak for what's happening in the Philippines. I only know what I read online. But I think that there's a universal need for a different way of delivery. And I think that one of the things that I was anxious for in going to Auckland University of Technology, because while we teach technology at the university, we don't use the technology to teach. And so I think that it was a way of opening up the way people look at things, because I think we teach children in silos, or teach young people in silos. We teach them to be engineers or accountants or lawyers or whatever it is. And we need to have a much more holistic look at the way we deliver information, because it's not like the 60s where I think everyone believed that anyone could be taught anything. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I know that for my part, as I say, being an accidental academic, I can't be taught mathematics, but I can be taught storytelling. And so I think that is one way of doing it, by delivering it online.
There you go. I learned a new word from you, Professor Mike, and that's gamify. It's thinking out of the box in terms of
Yep.
delivering content. I love it.
Yep.
Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Thank you.
Uh, okay. There are notable progress in learning about and teaching with technology in the Philippines. How can your solutions harness the unique attributes of technology to shift the paradigm to learning with technology? Now this question has been answered by some of you already. So, but just have some time trying to focus on learning with technology. We go around. Mike, can you start, Professor Mike?
Well, I think that certainly I've encouraged younger people who I've dealt with, and we have had a remarkable run of success with some of the students that we've had, and their ideas have been brought to the fore by using video and using the teaching methods that we do, which is literally using technology to teach. A lot of it's on video. The worksheets, the entire program can be totally self-directed. It doesn't require teaching input. It requires, I guess, curation and modification. But I think that it could be totally online, or it could be taught either way. But that seems to be, to me, in my limited experience, although my father was a school teacher, I didn't think pedagogy was my thing, which is why I started running advertising agencies. But I now see that the use of the technology we learned in advertising can work equally well in education and pedagogy. So
Thank you, Professor. Dr. Govin?
Yeah, I think we just talk about English language and how English language can help to schools, university, government, and industry and businesses. So we got a complete 100% digital solution for that. And when I say 100% digital solution, it means that all students can learn English language using our app. Now, you can see there are millions app in the market to learn English language, but the way we have designed the app got far better feature than any app in the market. So future wise, I think the young generation, they like fast interactive learning rather than learning through books. Now it's becoming old fashioned. Second, about the quality of content, which is very important. So we have integrated the 21st century skills that help students when they complete English language course to work in education or to work in business and industry. Again, training the teachers is very important for us. So we designed the training program. Again, it's 100% digital, but that give teachers new pedagogy or techniques or methods. Again, there is no cost, but we are just bringing the UK expertise in terms of teaching English language to Philippines. Fourth, it's not just teaching, but how we can help the school administrators to monitor the whole provision what they have in their schools. So all admin people are trained to provide some sort of a training that they can manage it paperless. So the whole concept for Philippines is really very affordable, accessible, and we have made it profitable as well, because when we work with a private organization and if they want to charge more, they can charge it. If we can work with public universities or public institute, if they want to provide cost to cost, then they can provide cost to cost. And particularly business and industry, I think that's a crucial. We want to support that how they can some sort of train their existing workforce digitally. So basically the solution what we have, they don't need to go anywhere. It's very, very affordable. Particularly what Santosh said, hybrid learning, they can some should learn into the class, or they can learn anywhere. What Santosh highlighted about the BPO is really very important. So if Filipino want to teach English language to any student anywhere in the world, we got the platform. So what we are trying to give some sort of empowering English language teachers to become an entrepreneur, to become their own some sort of English language schools without any cost, without any investment, without any initial fees. So it's not like a commercial way we want to provide this solution, but we are as a human being, we thought this is a time to support the Philippine teachers to become entrepreneurs, to help the schools closing down, provide the good solutions, and government looking good technology, good content, and a good qualification that recognized worldwide. So it's a very simple solution in terms of providing a British standard English language teaching and training for the teachers.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gavin. Marlette, any
Yeah.
reaction?
I I precisely agree to all the perspective that you were discussing. I think we are one world. We are one in all these things. Um, Blended education, however you call it, distance education, um, whatever you call it, is still, I believe that you need local partners, especially the marginalized one that should be rich, so that we can be able to help those who are really in need of help, especially those, I call it unlearned or uneducated people, because we need them, and they need us also, for us to attain our goal of education, not only for a few, but education for all. After all, education fights poverty, and education is the key for many to be able to lift our lifestyle, not life, our um our lifestyle of living, for us to be able to, like, um free from all this poverty and other things that is all sort of that. Okay, so thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Marlette. Santosh?
Yeah. Yes, as I said, like, no, I would like to just one more time just say, repeat the same thing what all have said. They have all explained the power of blended learning as well as e-learning and everything. I would like to say that, like, no, we have to bring international trainers throughout the world to support an country, correct? No, that is the way, like, no, transmission of knowledge or translation of knowledge to worldwide has to be a very big thing, because see, accessibility is a very important thing for any people to continue their education. Accessibility will happen only when technology is empowered. So there it comes, a person who is an age of 30 or 40, he's already left his colleges or he's already working in a company in a same level. If he want to upgrade his lifestyle or increase his lifestyle or anything like that, he has to adapt some mode of education which suits his lifestyle, already is working or anything. There definitely this blended learning system, e-learning system will help. The courses like learning English, learning artificial intelligence and management studies or anything like that, it has to be updated according to their maturity. A student who has learned the something in the college is not that what he can like, no, have it in the life when he is on 30s or 40s or he is in a managerial level. Definitely he has to update. I will give a simple example. There is some websites called as Coursera, Upgrade, Simply Learn, Great Learning and everything. See, in this COVID time, this websites has done a big job, and it has they have scored a billions of dollar worldwide, only by giving courses on management and IT and as well as data science and artificial intelligence. So that shows that the the mindset of the people, earlier people were afraid of doing online education. They were thinking only when the teacher comes in front of me and talks, gives me the class, then only I will understand. Now that concept has gone thanks to pandemic, correct? So we all are focusing on that one only, and our intention, that is XCDCX intention, is to empower Philippines with the latest AI skills and data science skills and more number of people, because BPO industry now is turning towards supporting AI and data science industry. If they need to stick in that market, they should be having a very strong knowledge, and there should be organization to support them. So definitely all mixture of IT and English and management science all together can be delivered to the Philippines to overcome this education crisis. That's
Okay. Thank you, Santosh. We still have three questions, but very interesting. I mean, your answers were tremendous. Thank you to all the panelists. Hopefully, I wish we had more time to answer the other questions that we have. Okay, well, once again, I'd like to thank QBO for organizing this panel discussion on education, how education can fight poverty. I would also like to thank our audience who hopefully get inspired by this very informative panel discussion on how to solve the education crisis in the Philippines.